Good evening, everyone. I'm Sheldon Whitehouse, U.S. Senator from Rhode Island, the Ocean State. I rise today to call our hearts to hear the cry of the earth as it comes from two of God's humblest but most useful creatures. When was the last time any of us thought of the humble bumblebee? We have important things to do. Who can be thinking about bumblebees? And the humble pteropod. The bishop, as an oceanographer, knows of the pteropod. Perhaps it is the bumblebee of the ocean. It's a winged snail, sometimes called the sea butterfly, because over millennia, God's evolution of these creatures has turned their little snail foot into a beautiful oceanic wing. Here's what is happening to them. Here is the message that they convey. In a warming climate, bumblebee populations are retreating northward, away from the southern, hottest part of their ranges. But the northern range for the bumblebees is not expanding. The changing climate is crushing bumblebee populations in a climate vice. Off our west coast, acidified water is hitting the pteropod especially hard. Researchers found, to quote them, severe shell damage on more than half of the pteropods they collected from Central California to the Canadian border. The pteropods are being eaten away by acidic water from CO2 emissions. Jesus taught us to find truth among things that are humble. So it behooves us to open our hearts to the cry of the earth as it comes to us from the bumblebee and the pteropod, from the coral polyp and the oyster spat, from the New Hampshire moose and the Idaho pine, from Utah's snowfall and California's drought, from the carbon concentration of our only atmosphere and the pH level of our only oceans. These gifts are all God's creations, and thus, are their signals not all God's voice? How could these creatures speak to us more earnestly than with their lives? Of all the voices we listen to, of all the voices we listen to in Congress, why not their voices? Together, let us allow their voices, God's voice, to fill our own hearts and voices. Thank you very much.